Hello and welcome to the United Stand. We are live with your Manchester United transfer news, and the motto of the day is going to be silence is golden, in a sense, because we don't know anything. Ed Woodward's off to LA or wherever Manchester United are in America to discuss things with Mourinho. I'm sure Mourinho is ecstatic with the progress so far. I was reading some of Mourinho's quotes actually recently, and as I've said, I feel that Matic and Perisic will be the players that we want. And when you read about what he said at the weekend about Matic, he likened it to the Morata situation by saying that currently we don't speak about players at other clubs. It's something we'd like to do, essentially, but I don't know whether it's possible. So that Matic link, which I think will happen, and I was moaning about on the show last night, and if you want to watch last night's show I can explain that to you on there. It's all about a lack of pace for Matic that's the problem for me when you look at Manchester United's midfield. But who are we linked with today? What is the story behind it? Perisic, let me start with him. He's on the plane to China. I don't think he was happy to be on that plane to China, but interestingly, as we said last night, a lot of frustration around Ed Woodward and what he's been doing, but reading between the lines, and Martial confirmed it late last night, Inter Milan apparently moving the goalposts. Manchester United willing to pay £38 million, 44 million in add-ons of the total bill. Then Inter moving the goalposts and demanding Anthony Martial as part of a loan deal. Now, as much as Perisic would improve us with his natural width and ability to put the crosses in, and I think he's perfect for us, there's no player there's no player I can think of in world football, maybe barring a handful of top world-class players, I'd be looking at Anthony Martial leaving Manchester United for. I don't want Martial to leave for Perisic, so if that's why the deal's died, then I back Woodward, I back Mourinho, and it's the right decision. And as I said last night, I think everyone's got a right to get frustrated, but ultimately we don't know what's going on, and if there is any truth in that, then it's frustrating for Perisic. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's frustrating for Morata, who wanted to come to United as well. But United have got to do what's in their interests, and we're not giving up Anthony Martial for Perisic, on whether it's a loan or not. So that's the latest with that, and the Anthony Martial stories continue to develop, really. I'll tell you what, talk about altitude. It's definitely humid today. I think we're going to get some thunderstorms, which will be nice, but yeah, it is hot. So slow the pace a bit. Yeah, so Anthony Martial does feature quite a lot in a lot of the papers this morning. I would say don't worry. I think when you read between the lines, and when you look with your eyes, it helps if you use your eyes to look. Martial looks very happy at Manchester United at the moment. He tweeted a few weeks ago to say it's all nonsense about that move to Arsenal. The press seem determined that he will be the United player with De Gea that they try and unsettle this summer. And yeah, the news is that Martial's happy at Manchester United and Manchester United are happy with him, so I don't see him going anywhere, and that's great news. Perisic, I think we're in a similar situation to Real Madrid, really, where we would like to sign him, but it's very difficult to do because their club doesn't want to sell him, even though the player does, and they don't have to sell him, so it's difficult. Chris Davies says, I know it's frustrating, but if you set a precedent now, we won't get mugged off in the future. It's true. It's a double-edged sword, really, Chris, because we, and Mourinho with the same as us, we want these players in, part of the squad now, so that when we're on this US tour, we can get them used to the team. But it's not going to be like that now. I think that's why I was saying that silence is golden and patience is a virtue, really. We're going to have to be patient. Perisic is on the China tour. Woodward's now on the US tour. I don't see anything happening in the next week or so, at least. But what we do have in the next week is we've got Man City on Friday morning, Real Madrid on Sunday night, and Barcelona a week today. And they are going to be interesting gauges for what we've got at the moment and how we're going to set up. And I think the formation we play next season is probably far more important than future transfers that we make. Veratti was linked to us, yes. Let me give you an update on Veratti. So Verratti's at PSG. He's always been going to go to Barcelona, and he was linked to Manchester United late last night. Mid-20s. He's about 5'5", you know where I'm going straight away with this, and Mini Raiola might be becoming his agent. Well, if Mini Raiola becomes his agent, he's probably not going to Barcelona because Raiola hates them. But Raiola was apparently going to become Ousmane Dembele's agent a month ago. That never happened. Barcelona are very interested in Veratti. Veratti is very interested in Barcelona. Veratti will either go to Barcelona or he will sign a new contract at PSG. Manchester United will not be signing Veratti. I think this is just normal nonsense. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Bale to Manchester United becomes a big thing in the next couple of days, because United fans are a bit frustrated and they'll want to leak to the press something about that to make us feel optimistic again. So yeah, Verratti's 5'5". He's a good player, very sort of like Pirlo in a way, tenacious in the midfield, my favourite midfield trait, but a good football player as well, good creative player. I think he'd be very good at Manchester United, but the problem is he's not a giant, and as I said last night, Mourinho has a giant fetish, doesn't he? So he's got no chance. And also I think the money would be prohibitive in the fact that he'd probably cost about 80 million. And talking of money, let's go back to Neymar now. I did a video on Neymar, didn't we? We did the Neymar video Tuesday night. No, that was last night, so we did it Monday night. And a few of you were moaning about clickbait and everything like that. Look, if I want to do a clickbait video, I'll call it Messi to United, Ronaldo to United, and then I'll just rotate it every day. The reality is, PSG at this moment in time are very close to securing Neymar's signature. The reason they are doing that is because they are funded by wealthy people. He has a £200 million buyout clause, and they are willing to pay it. Now Barcelona become redundant. It's very similar to the situation with Griezmann, whereby if we offer that 90 million, it's Griezmann's choice, and obviously Griezmann made his choice, and we've got to accept that he chose it. But Neymar to PSG, I mean, how it fits in with financial fair play, I don't know. Is it Neymar just posturing because he wants to be the main man at Barcelona and Messi is now? It's a fair point. Where do Manchester United fit into this? Well, Woodward would love to sign Neymar, but the reality is, because of the money that's being quoted around, it's prohibitive for Manchester United. PSG are quoted to be offering him, well, 200 million to Barcelona and then 30 million a year tax-free, which is, God, you know, it's over £2 million a month. It's 2.5 million pounds a month tax-free, which is what, 625,000 a week. You know, United can't afford that, and even if they could, it just becomes very prohibitive in relation to other players we've got at the club, so that can't happen really. But that's the update with that. I think we will end up with the stopgap players instead of the players that we need, says Benson Thomas. We need to start flashing the cash, says Red Prepper. Good morning, says Jim Jemison. Yeah, we'll have to just wait and see what happens with United, but I think patience is important. I think we'll get Matic quite soon. I'm not particularly happy about it. Matic is a good player, but I look at that midfield and it's not really about the quality of the player, it's the attributes of the player, I believe, that we need to change that midfield. It was so static in the game against Real Salt Lake, and I'm not too fussed about that because it's pre-season, but it just reminds me of last season, and we all know that pretty much from February to the end of the season, our football was poor. We were very good defensively, but we didn't create many chances. It was like Van Gaal all over again, whereas before Christmas we were quite expansive. I think to get back to that, you need to bring certain players into the team. I mean, Ross Barkley's available, Renato Sanchez is available, Fabinho's available. Sign them 3 players, add them to Herrera, Pereira and Pogba, and we've got a great midfield. I don't really want to see Carrick or Fellaini or Matic in the United side anymore because they're too slow. And just quickly on the De Gea thing, I think De Gea to Real Madrid, we're just going to have to do a watching brief on that, but the latest with that is that Manchester United will not let him go unless they give up Toni Kroos, which, to be honest, if De Gea was set on going, Kroos isn't a bad player to get hold of, is he? Right, I've gone on way too long with that, but drop a like on the video, get commenting below. What do you think? I mean, I suppose one question I would ask is, when do you think we're going to make our next signing? I think the next one, if I was a betting man, will be Matic, but beyond that, I think we're going to be waiting a few weeks now. I think it is going to be about patience. We are going to get all sorts of players thrown at us. I think Veratti is another one where it's just paper talk, but we'll wait and see. I'll be back tonight at 8:30. Got a big reveal tonight actually, something to get involved in. Got to do the Man City preview at some point. I don't know whether to do that at lunchtime or do it tomorrow lunchtime. I'll have a think. I might do it at lunchtime. If I do it at lunchtime, it'll be about 12:30. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.